What would be the differences between an ILI-TE and SLI-TE male? Good question. That makes me want to look at my blog, viptypology.wordpress.com. Let me just check who I've typed this way. Like Jordan Peterson, I believe is an ILI-TE. So when you compare him to, for example, I think that Harrison Ford is an SLI. If you compare him to that, to be fair, Harrison Ford might be an SI subtype. So maybe this is not the best comparison. Yeah, okay, obviously the similarities, they both are T subtype, they both have very strong TI, they're both introverts, they both have a connection to FI, and yeah. The interesting thing is they can look similar on the surface a lot because the way their FE is ordered, you know, both being FE polar, they can have like very similar facial expressions maybe, or like a similar way of expressing themselves. Also, according to Golenko, they have like the cold-blooded communication style, so that means that the way they talk is usually also very like, can lean towards being monotone a little bit. Basically how you imagine like a logical male to sound like, you know, like there's not much emotion in their voice essentially. So it's like not much emotion in their voice, as well as a bit of a calmness as well, because yeah, like ET is a bit more like staccato, like a bit more like that, especially ETJ, like ESTJ especially. It's maybe that's just my experience, but especially like ESTJ 8s, it's almost like they're screaming all the time or something, or okay, that's a bit of a stereotype. Okay, so what is different? Obviously, the interesting thing is, obviously ILI has better NE, like better intuition, and especially better NE than SLI. So, but the interesting thing is because it's their ignoring function, so yeah, it's kind of like, when I think of blocked, the ignoring function is like blocked a bit. It's kind of like someone is wearing like an eye mask. So someone who has very good eyes, but still is wearing an eye patch and eye mask because they don't care about that eye for some reason, you know. That's kind of how I think about like blocking, ignoring function. So it can look like their eye is not working, even though it is, you know, but they just don't like to use it as much, or they are very selective in the way they open the eye patch and close it again and all that. Whereas SLI is obviously not good at any. So how does it show itself? If they have to, like ILI can be good at generating new ideas, new insights. SLI people tend to rather, copy is not the right word, it's like they're more like an echo. Like SLI is more inclined to perhaps like collect, like T likes to really collect a lot of data. So TE is going to be like collecting a lot of data. They're both going to collect data, but with SLI it's more like they're going to assimilate the information, and they're going to be good at like remembering it and at reciting it. ILI as well, but with ILI it's more likely going to be synthesized, sorry, in like it's like new ideas, new insights. It's more likely gonna be about like visions of the future. Of SLIs who are very intelligent, they can come across as N because they can be very verbose. Actually, they can have a very good way of talking. A lot of pastors come across as SLI to me. Like a lot of religious SLI ones end up being in church, being pastors. Yeah, they just are really good at collecting all the data, all the knowledge and all the readings from religious scriptures, and they can mirror poetic language in a way. So they can sound poetic, but when it comes down to it, there's not much newness. A lot of scientists, actually, a lot of even physicists can be SLI-TE. Like they can be very intelligent, very mathematical. They can work in the sciences. But once again, there's not really any new creation, any new line of thought, any new modus operandi, any new zeitgeist. That's just not typical of SLI. That's more typical of ILI. Also, like, yeah, sli-te is gonna come across as, I mean, okay, both types can come across as masculine, but ILI is still gonna seem a bit more like soft, see-through, like a little bit more, doesn't really know what to do with their body, it's a bit awkward, it's like, I don't know what to do, whereas SLI is more, yeah, more inhabiting their body. Like SI people really, really inhabit their bodies, whereas types who don't value SI and who are intuitive, they are really not really inhabiting their body as well. Yeah, okay, I think that's like the few things I can think of.